Now that I have the car clean, let's give some of these products a try. Back with more Rubbit. If you watch my other video, which I will link to up here, you will see that I was looking for a winter washing solution for washing my car in my garage in Ohio in the winter, where the temperatures get down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit or worse sometimes. And I couldn't use my regular pressure washer setup out of the fear of the pipes freezing. And after researching several options, I decided to buy the Rubbit efoam kit, which comes with the efoam sprayer, the Rubbit Foam 2.0, some microfiber towels, and some air fresheners. I'll put a link to that video up there. You can check it out. And my concern with this kit and Rubbit in general was that as I was rubbing the dirt or wiping the dirt off the car, was that going to put swirls on the car, again, kind of rubbing that dirt against it. And I've washed my car about a half a dozen times now. You can see it in the video. And I have not noticed any swirls. And I can get my medium-sized SUV, an X5, done in about a half hour. And I've been pleasantly surprised with just how well this works. So for several different options, mine included, this can work really well. And if you have one of those needs, I recommend checking this out. Because I like to try new car care products, I decided to pick up some of Rubbit's other items. These come as a package deal. They call it the New Arrivals Bundle, or you can also buy them individually, but they are cheaper if you get them as part of the bundle. The stuff that comes in the bundle for $44.90. And by the way, I put a link to a coupon code down below. You can get 10% off anything you buy. But the stuff that comes in this bundle are 3 air fresheners, and then it comes with wiper fluid tablets, interior cleaner, and tire shine. Just to briefly talk about each of these individually, and then we will go wash the car. The wiper fluid tablets, if you buy these by themselves, they are $9.90. It's 1 tablet per gallon of water. You can put the tablet in the washer fluid reservoir and then add the water. I'm gonna put it in a jug just so we can see what happens with it, and then I'll pour that in. 1 tablet per gallon of water. I researched relative costs of wiper fluid. I found that you could get a gallon of Rain-X wiper fluid for $4 at Home Depot. So $4, $16 for 4 gallons, or this is $9.90, again, cheaper in the bundle for 4 gallons. And if you have another concern, this is gonna be less plastic for the environment. So we'll see how this goes. The interior cleaner, you can use this on pretty much anything except for real leather because it doesn't have moisturizers in it. So you can use it on fake leather, vinyls, plastics, and even on the windows. We'll give this a try. The smell of this is kind of a sort of a Windex smell. It's not a bad smell, but if you're wondering, that's about what this smells like. And then there's the tire shine. Some people like a super high gloss mirror shine on their tires. Some people like more just a light sheen. Again, I haven't tried this yet. We'll try it together. We'll see what the outcome of this is. You spray it on, you leave it for about 30 seconds, and then you wipe it off. Both of these do come with some sprayer nozzles that you put in there. So let's go wash the car, and then we'll give these a try and see how they work. First, trying the washer fluid tablets. I'm going to put them initially in this 2-quart pitcher so I can see what happens as they dissolve, and then we will put it in the car. So these just pop right out of the back nice and easy. There's the tablet, put it in here, and we'll add some water. All right, so that is 2 quarts. That way I know that I have 4 more to get to a gallon. It is already starting to dissolve here in the bottom. All right, washer fluid cap. This is still working on effervescing, but it's definitely getting there. So I'm gonna pour 2 quarts in to start with. Pill's still there. I'm gonna plop the pill in there. That way it will dissolve with the rest of it so I can fill it up to the top. All right, washer fluid done. Looking at the tire shine next. Spray it on. I'll let it sit for about 30 seconds and then we will wipe it off. I'm gonna use one of my tire sponges to put it evenly on here. Spread it evenly. And then I'm just going to dry the wheel surface off where it got some overspray. Let that dry and we'll come back and have a look at it. Rear wheel. And then we'll spread it some. Spread it around. I'm just very lightly doing this here so it spreads it. Most of the tires I put on and then I smoothed it around with that sponge This one, I sprayed it on and I've let it sit for a couple minutes. And so if you don't, after about 30 seconds, smooth it around, it will get this kind of beaded, dried effect. So you do definitely need to kind of take it and just lightly buff it some. But you can let it sit for a couple minutes. I've had this probably sitting here for at least 5 minutes on here. The look that this gives to the tires is not a super glossy mirrored look, but for me is what is roughly the perfect amount of matte and sheen that just gives it a nice, clean, finished look. All right, moving on to the interior cleaner. Try it on the seats first. I'm gonna do this dirty matte last. There's a fine spray and a wide spray. There's the mist, much better. My seats are not real leather, so this is okay to use on these. Does add a nice little sheen to the dash here. And you can use it on glass. So I'm gonna use it on the screen. Try it on the mirror. And let's do the interior windows. There's a little bit of residue as I do the window, but that seems to buff off. As far as the smell, I'm not really noticing a smell as I'm doing it, so no big deal there if you are fearful of that. The interior cleaner, I give a B+. It worked great on the seats and the dash, which again are not leather. It did an amazing job on the floor mat that's been super dirty through the winter with the salt and things like that. I also use it on the windows, the screen, and some of these hard plastic shiny surfaces. And on the windows, it did leave a film enough that I went back and redid the windows with a regular glass cleaner. On the screen here and down here, a little bit of film, but I was able to buff that out without a big deal. So I think it's great on the soft interior surfaces. I don't care for it quite as much on the hard, shiny glass and plastic surfaces. Some closing thoughts. If you watched my first video, when I first washed this car with the Rubbit system, I went through all 6 of the Rubbit towels and then had to break into my own towel stash. And now that I've washed the car half dozen times or so, I'm able to make it through with their 6 towels and have 1 or 2 left over to do the wheels and the interior. So you definitely become more efficient with this the more you do it. As for the products I tested today, the windshield washer tablets, super easy to use. In the future, I would just plop one into the reservoir and then add water. I just put it in the picture today so I can see how it effervesced, and I have no doubt that it will dissolve over time, no problem. I haven't used it yet because I'm not going to spray it on my clean car, but I presume it's going to work just fine and definitely easy to use and much more compact than having 4 gallons of washer fluid in my house. The interior cleaner, as I mentioned inside, it did a great job on the soft surfaces, the seats, the floor mats. I didn't care for it on the windows because it did leave a film that I had to go back and redo on my own. And on the hard plastic surfaces, left a little bit of a film that I was able to buff off without a huge deal. And then the tire shine for me gives just the right amount of sheen. Not a super mirrored finish, not a matte finish, just enough that it gives it a nice, clean, finished look. So overall, happy with the system. I'll put some links down below to the discount code if you want to get 10% off your order off this or any of the other products. Post some comments if you've used this. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to entertain those. But I appreciate you watching these videos, and I will catch you in the next one.